YouTube, it's Above Average Cody. And this past weekend, I did my first CHL Classic Halo League tourney ever. So the Classic Halo League, I did a video on this quite a while back, and I said I wanted to experience some of it firsthand. So we decided to enter the Darkest Hour 4v4 tourney this past weekend, and it was definitely a interesting but also very fun experience altogether. I'm going to talk a little bit about how the outcome was, and then also my experience with the tourney and the CHL settings all together. If you're not already familiar with the Classic Halo League, or you missed that first video I did on it, guys, it is basically Halo Infinite on classic Halo maps, being Halo 2, 3 era, and then there is no equipment, there is no sprints, and there is no slide. So it is basically walking around the map, it is shooting your gun, and basically focusing power-ups where there is no timer or pop-up telling you where the power-up is. It sounds pretty bland and very stale for face value, being classic Halo, but there is nothing more Halo feeling than this, in my opinion. Now that I have you filled in on what the Classic Halo League is, I'll tell you how the tourney went. We got absolutely demolished. This first team that we played, guys, that you can see in the background, I think the team name was Goodfellas. We played them in the first round, and they played absolutely perfect Halo. It is amazing how quickly they would shoot you off spawn. I don't think we were ever 3 players alive, let alone 4 players alive at one time. Obviously, this first map we played is very tough for that, and once you get in the spawn trap, you can get absolutely obliterated. This team would actually crush us in a matter of what felt like minutes, guys. It felt like a very, very quick loss. But again, they played very, very perfect Halo on these maps. They controlled the spawns the entire time. Our average lifetime had to be something abysmal, like 5 to 10 seconds. But they were very good. They would go on to beat us in this first round here, and then go on to beat the Darkest Hour squad in the round in winners immediately after this. So they were a very good squad. The Darkest Hour squad had straight sick gunplexion. It was a very good team, and they ended up beating them. I also forgot to mention that this was not even our first match. This was winners round 3. Our first match of winners round 1, we had one guy show up. He said his team was sleeping, and he said they were going to take a forfeit. So we won in winners round 1 by forfeit. And then round 2, the other team never showed up. Tommy was kind of managing everything, messaging the other rosters, and the person never replied. They never got back to us. I don't know if the team didn't show up, but everybody had to check in. So they checked in and then did not show up. So we waited. The admin told us how long to wait, and then they still did not message us. So we won in winners round 2. And then this was our winners round 3 matchup. The only downside with that is we didn't technically get our, normal seeded matchups. We literally dove right into winners round 3, which could be part of the reason we got such a sweaty matchup, because again, if by some chance we were to beat this team, we would have been playing the Darkest Hour roster with straight sick on it, which is really crazy to say the least. So technically our first matchup was in winners round 3, where we got absolutely demolished. Obviously we got bounced then to losers round 3, where we got beat, but not quite as bad. This team definitely outclassed us, but they made about as many mistakes as we did. It's just, we weren't quite as good at capitalizing on them. To keep in mind here, guys, Halo Infinite is my first truly competitive Halo. I did not used to play and grind on these maps. Same thing with Brent. And then Tommy and Nate, who are our other 2 teammates, they were absolute Halo 3 demons, but they don't play as much Halo as they used to. So this team was pretty much outclassed in every aspect of this. I'll talk a little bit more about our experiences getting ready for this tourney, and then I want to talk about just the CHL and the tourneys on their own and kind of my review of them. Getting ready for this tourney was such a fun change of pace. Obviously we stepped in and got absolutely waxed, but that is what it is. We were outclassed. We aren't the best Halo players on the planet, that's no secret, but it was really, really fun getting ready. You know, we're doing the CHL setting 2v2s. We're walking around these classic maps that some of them I remember well, some of them I don't remember as well, but just to be on these maps in such beautiful, absolutely beautiful Forge remakes was really, really fun. It was a really good time, and it was just fun just getting in custom games with the homies, actually trying to learn something, focus the spawns, and just kind of talking about things as a team. That's what competitive Halo is all about, and it was a really nice and really fun experience getting ready for the tourney. Now, the tourney itself, guys, was really cool, honestly. I think there were like 65 plus teams that signed up. It was very well curated. Again, it was kind of crazy that both our first two matchups were technically no-shows to some extent, with one player from the first team showing up. It was really cool. It was very well organized, and it seemed like people had a really great time. Obviously, it was on LVT Halo, who puts on a fabulous production with everything they do. Cannot say enough good things about LVT Halo on Twitch. They also upload things on YouTube as well. Feel free to go support them. Not like connected with them in any way, but just the amazing events they broadcast and put on is just so worth like spewing about. But back to the CHL here. The settings are really, really fun when you get in an environment like this, in a competitive environment like this, with no equipment, no sprinting, no sliding, and very old school maps being symmetrical, 3-lane, and very, very predictable. It comes down to the two hardest things in Halo. That is being really cracked, aiming and not missing any bullets, and then spawn control and anticipation. These are probably the two hardest things in just about any first-person shooter to not only get down to a manageable level, but master. And the team we played first mastered both of these things. Because again, when you don't have like a grapple to get away at high speeds with, and you don't have sprint to kind of beat people to the spot, and you don't have these power slides to kind of throw off rotations, it comes down to aim and spawn control. So once you're able to use your cracked aim and get a team 2 down, 3 down, 4 down, and then once you're able to very easily anticipate the spawns, because again, a 3-lane map on CTF where spawns don't flip, it becomes very easy to predict those spawns. And once a team predicts those spawns and knows where they're coming in, guys, you are literally spawning into grenades, which is what happened against this first team quite a few times, actually. So what I do really want to say about these CHL tourneys is I don't want to say they're more competitive than Halo Infinite on its own, because it's very like, that's a very like blanket term, but I think it's competitive in a different way where it really encapsulates the hardest things to master in first-person shooters and makes whatever team that's better at those two things pretty much win the game. And it didn't happen in our matchups, but when you have two teams that arguably are the best at doing these two things on these maps that they know so well from back in the day, it makes for some very spicy and very, very close matchups, because it doesn't always come down to the team that controls the power weapons wins, or the team that controls the equipment wins, because it's just not as common to do that depending on the map you get. Perfect example is this map where there's not really like a rocket launcher or like a sniper that you can control the whole time. So it comes down to those two very pure things. Again, aim and spawn control. And it just makes for a different level of competitiveness where the hardest things to master are the things that help a team win. So the CHL, I think, is doing a really great job at making some very fun tournaments, especially mixing it up with FFA 2v2s, and obviously this was a 4v4 tourney. I think it's really cool what they're doing. So CHL, top-notch, very fun tournaments. Even if you don't mind getting greased, and even if you don't think you're the best Halo player ever, it's still very fun to enter these tourneys. I had a blast, and I definitely plan to do more with the boys. And then obviously LVT, great production. Definitely cool to have them broadcast events like this. And then finally, I will say, not in the essence of stealing an idea, but I would love to see 343 add a playlist of just this style into Halo Infinite. It does not have to be ranked. I don't care what it is. I don't even care if it's just free-for-all. But it would just be really cool to see a playlist like this because, again, it's a nice change of pace. It's a nice little bit of something different in the game that I already really love. And to put it on classic Halo maps, I think is really dope altogether. But that's pretty much, I think, everything I wanted to say about our CHL tourney experience. I'm not going to do this every tourney we do, but this being my first Classic Halo League tournament, I really want to give you guys like the full experience and what was going through my mind throughout kind of every stage of this tourney that we very much entered for fun. We did not assemble this team going, this is the absolute best squad we can put together, but I think this squad we all had a lot of fun with it, and it was just a really cool experience overall, as I've said like 100 times already. So yeah, guys, I'll wrap it up there. Subscribe to the channel. We do tons of Halo Infinite content. Not saying we're going to mix in a lot more CHL content, but I'd be willing to do more tourneys and stuff like that if you guys enjoyed watching this one on stream. Leave a like in the video, guys, please. Leave a comment. What are your thoughts on the CHL, LVT Halo, Halo Infinite as a whole? Give me whatever you got. I've been having a lot of trouble replying to comments because I get so many and I'm so busy, but I do read them all. I read every single one, guys, even if I'm not taking the time to react to them or comment back to you guys. I do appreciate all of the comments down there. And then, of course, guys, channel membership, super thanks so you can support monetarily. It helps me out a lot as a content creator, but please do not feel like you have to. But alrighty, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I appreciate all the support. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay tuned for the next one.